Coming at you from the OLR podcast studio.
It's really more of a basement.
Coming to you from the OLR basement studio.
But it's still a podcast.
Coming to you from the podcast basement studio.
Yeah, but you still need to say OLR.
Coming to you from the OLR podcast basement studio.
Oh, that's way too many words.
Coming at you.
That's not enough. You still need to say OLR.
Let's just start. It's OLR. What's up? How you doing, everybody? Let's talk about the weather. I don't want to talk about anything interesting. Let's just talk about the weather.
Well, first, you ask how everybody's doing. They're not going to answer it. That's a rhetorical question.
My mistake.
They're not on the other end. It's not a phone. This is not an interactive show. We don't have call-in listeners. It's like, oh, let's go to line 3 with Pete over here.
Text me and tweet me, or go to my email, and you can be one of the people that actually emails the OLR podcast at gmail.com. Besides Aaron Long.
Aaron,
how you doing, Aaron?
What's Aaron?
I'm going to go ahead and say that Aaron isn't a real person, or if she is a real person, Alex Long, not Aaron Long. I apologize. She sent me an email that says, "You're our next top mentor."
Oh.
She wants me to, she's the top mentor concierge on a new social audio experience called Wisdom. She wants me to sign up to be a mentor for Wisdom, or you, one of us, somebody on the show. She says, "I love your podcast." I don't believe her.
You got me excited. I thought we had a new listener.
We don't. I don't believe she listens. Alex Long, if I'm wrong, and you do listen is the one. If you do listen, I'll download your app. I'm not going to say I'll sign up for it, but I'll download your app.
We did get 2 5-star reviews on iTunes recently.
Nice.
From Nashville PDR, November 2020. So I apologize, Nashville PDR, for just now seeing your comment on there. It says y'all get 3 thumbs up from me. And then on June 20th, 2021, Miss Medic 911 says, "On point, I love it." We love you.
We love you, Miss Medic.
Medic. Tell me who you are. I have no idea who Miss Medic 911. Nashville PDR.
How sad are you going to be if both of those are like, just like our parents or something? They just signed up.
That'd be the first time I felt like I ever had my dad's approval in 37 years. So maybe it's good.
Maybe that'd be a positive thing.
Maybe that's his way of hugging me. Virtually,
giving you a kiss on the forehead and saying, "Good job, Bucko."
So
good job, Bucko.
It's tonight's show, very much anticipated, like a 2-day anticipation. The anticipation, it's so thick you can cut it with a knife, the proverbial knife. I know everybody's been excited about this for at least 48 hours.
I love these shows.
When I sent out texts,
these are my favorite.
It's one of the most favorite.
It's my favorite.
We've got a lot of people, to listen. Our social media presence is terrible. I put it on our One Lane Road Podcast Facebook page, which has plenty of listeners, plenty of followers. They're listeners that are followers, Lucas, is what I'm trying to say. They're on there.
Gotcha.
Then it's like crickets when I post something on there. But maybe not a picture. That those go over well. But if I make posts for the podcast, even the D-bags that listen don't even comment on it. I even shared the post from my personal page, and still didn't get any interaction. So you know what I did?
Tell me.
I went old school. I beat the streets up. I pulled out my iPhone and I texted everybody. I texting people I know listen to the show.
Now hold on. Before you keep going, how did people like my showing off my ninja pants? Has there been a run on ATG Wrangler pants? Have I started a trend? Am I trending on Facegram?
Yeah, you are trending on Facegram. It's dang, I didn't know. James Austin's out to buy. He's looking to find out what style of hat that is.
I know, because I think Kara told him, because she said, "Hey, let me see your hat." James Austin wants to know.
Yeah.
So I pitched it over to her.
It was very well received on Instagram. I think that's what you were probably meaning. Yep. And Instagram, you were a hit.
Well, good.
I didn't put it on our Facebook page. I should have. I thought it linked. I thought it linked automatically. Then 2 days later, I realized it didn't link.
That's all right.
So most of the time when I put something on Instagram, it automatically posts to Facebook, and I forget about it. But I guess our podcast doesn't. So But no, we got a lot of reaction after I had to text people. I mean, not too proud to beg for some interaction, but they give it to us.
I'm not too proud to beg for a lot of things.
So let's just jump right into it. You want to?
Yeah. DK, what's your favorite album to spin on vinyl?
Oof, to spin on vinyl.
Oof. You know, back in your DJ times, what was your favorite?
Chicka. Well, I think they mean when I'm out in the...
When you're out in the shed?
I don't know who sent that question. There's like 5 questions that I had scribbled down in my notebook.
When you're out behind the tool shed whacking it, what are you listening
to? You know, it's like anything else. It just depends on the mood, like what you in the mood for. But
you know, what are you listening to?
I
know what I would listen to.
What's that?
Anything Sturgill. I have listened to his new album, Sound and Fury.
Jesus.
In the last 2 months, I bet I've listened to it, and this is not an over exaggeration. 20 times.
I've not listened to it
20 times.
I'm not listening to it. I didn't make it through it the first time.
I love that album.
I didn't make it through it the first time ever. Trying to find, he's coming out with
Art Not Friends is fantastic.
He's finally coming out with a new album. Do you see that?
I did not.
It's I've got a screenshot on this phone somewhere, but it's his 5th album.
What's it going to be like though? Is it going to be a country album?
It's supposedly a country album. They said years ago. He said directly from him said his 5th album would be his last. He said he would only do 5 albums, and I believe this is his 5th album. So we'll see if he holds true to that. I don't know. I can't find it. It's his grandparents' name. That is the name of the album. It's named after 2 of his grandparents.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah,
I hate that that's his last one.
Well, I mean, that's what he said years ago. He's not saying that right now. But,
I don't have any reason to not believe him.
Dang, I can't believe that I can't find it. You could probably, Google.
Well, it would have been much faster if you had just been able to have done it.
If I didn't screenshot, here it is. Dude and Juanita. It's a 10-track album. It says the new concept album from Sturgill Simpson available digitally August 20th. So actually next week.
So it's not going to be a country album, most likely then.
Well, available on vinyl December 3rd. It says Sturgill of the project. I just wanted to write a story, not a collection of songs that tell a story, but an actual story front to back. This album is a roller coaster ride through all the styles of traditional country and bluegrass and mountain music that I love, including gospel and acapella. It is a simple tale of either redemption or revenge. Track listing, you got your prologue, Old Dude Part 1, One in the Saddle, One on the Ground, Shamrock, Played Out, Sam, Juanita featuring Willie Nelson, Go in Peace, the epilogue, and Old Dude Part 2. So
I bet that'll be good. I'll be listening to it.
I guarantee it's better than Sounds of Fury.
I doubt that.
I would put my life on it.
The Sound and Fury is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Have you watched the anime that goes?
Do you think I look like a guy that watches?
You look like a guy that'll waste so much of your fucking life watching reruns of wrestling that you should at least to give 43 minutes to Netflix and watch Sound and Fury, since Sturgill Simpson's your favorite artist.
He's not my favorite artist.
You listen to that piece of shit thing that Aviators,
Shooter Jennings
put out, and then finally wind up liking it.
What do you mean?
That that cat shit album that he put out that had Marilyn Manson and everybody else on it.
No, I didn't.
You've even said on here that it finally grew on you. And you liked it.
No. You got 2 separate albums. Black Ribbons in 2010, his political album, grew on me because of songs like "All This Could Have Been Yours," "Black Ribbons," and a few more.
Outlaw You, probably.
Countach is what you're talking about.
Countach, yeah.
Outlaw You was on another album.
Yeah.
Countach made it from 5779 Jenks Creek Highway to the Moss Barbecue. Never got put in the record player.
Never got put in again. You got to listen. You got to just go on and watch it one time.
I'm not going to watch anime.
43 minutes for your favorite.
He's not my favorite.
One of your favorite artists.
Okay, one of.
43 minutes.
Say.
Anyway, you'll watch some shit that you've already watched 58 times.
What do you mean watch?
Wrestling. How many times have you seen a wrestling show? How many times have you watched a single highlight of Shaq?
Well, that question's coming.
Oh,
you saw it. I feel like you saw it.
No, I didn't see
it. Oh, you didn't see it?
No.
That's funny. But it's coming. It's on later down the list.
Yeah.
So
anyway,
to answer the question, favorite vinyl, not named fucking Sounds of Fury.
Yeah.
I have like 70 probably albums on vinyl, and it's mostly like Hank Jr., Waylon, Shooter, Cody Jinks, Sturgill, Childers, like all the usual suspects. The only non-country I have is a Creedence Clearwater Chronicle.
It's kind of country, though. I mean, it's not, but it's
not really. But kind
of. I mean, now it would be.
Yeah. I listen to that actually a lot.
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy, Raw and Delirious on vinyl is the only non country, not even close to country.
I had a dream the other night that I talked to Richard Pryor for like an hour.
Yeah, tell you to have a Coke and a smile.
Yeah, he did. He did.
My go-to is probably Sinners. I listen to a lot of Sinners Like Me on vinyl. I listen to a lot of Old Habits by Hank Jr. vinyl. Cody Jinks' new one. Cody Jinks just did the Adobe Sessions on vinyl, like acoustic album of Adobe Sessions. I've been listening to it just like nonstop. So, question 2: what is Lucas's favorite type of gun to shoot, assuming he does so?
Squirt guns.
And they don't come out like they used to. We already covered
They
that.
just dribble.
What kind of guns do you shoot?
I don't shoot anything.
Lucas,
I have them. I don't shoot them. I don't go out shooting. I don't go out.
You answer the damn question. You've got a whole house full of guns,
I've got them.
probably.
Hey, I don't shoot them though. I don't go out and shoot them. I need to. I don't. It's not one of my hobbies. I have a hobby of collecting them that I used to have.
Is this some bullshit answer because you don't want to tell people what kind of guns you have?
No, no. I realistically, I don't go out and go shooting it.
We've shot out here in the field one day. That was years ago.
Right.
Last time you shot?
Probably.
And what was your favorite gun to shoot that day?
I don't know. Probably my 357.
357.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yep.
I apologize for that.
There you go.
Shit answer. Lucas just gave you whoever.
We ain't talking about my guns.
Lawyers, guns, and money.
Connor Hale says F. Murray Kill, Jen Psaki, Amy Schumer, Casey Anthony.
I don't know. You like to smarten me up on who Jen Psaki is.
Well, she's the press agent for Biden.
Can you pull her picture up?
Yeah.
Please. I know who Amy Schumer, the comedian, is. Casey Anthony's the girl that killed her kids?
Yeah.
Right? Okay, we're killing that bitch.
Yeah.
She's dead.
That was such an easy one.
Did she kill her? Is she alive? She's not alive?
She is alive.
I would imagine he didn't have Mary kill a corpse.
Mm-hmm. American political advisor, White House secretary. There you go.
Can I get
She's the one that, like, whenever they have a presser, she's the one talking to her.
Okay, she's age 42. Hit the images on her. I needed all.
Oh, it's.
Well, she's rough.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she's old fire crotch. You know,
yeah,
she's old fire crotch.
All day.
If the curtains match the drapes,
yeah.
You know, is that the correct thing? Yeah,
yep. And I'm going to say the curtains do match the drapes, seeing as how her eyebrows are also red.
Well, that would assume she's got curtains.
Yep. Apparently, she was a swimmer too. Nope, never mind. Maybe somebody else.
A lot of people don't have curtains this time of day. Or is it drapes?
Drapes.
They don't have the
curtains.
Well, the curtains here.
Curtains on top.
So she may not have any drapes.
Yep.
At all.
She looks like the type that probably has drapes. You know,
plenty of them.
Plenty of drapes, realistically.
More drapes than she needs.
Yeah, probably a little too worried about what's going on in the White House to worry about the drapes.
Okay, and let's Google Casey Anthony now.
You know,
I mean, I just don't.
Here's the problem with Casey Anthony, though.
She's good looking.
She's a terrible, terrible person.
Yeah,
she's terrible person.
Well, we're killing her. Look at her, how crazy she looks. You think she listened to this podcast? Should I watch what you think I should?
Oh God, no.
But what if it?
I mean, you're not a toddler, so there's not much chance of her killing you. So
that's.
Here's the problem with Casey Anthony. She needs to be killed so that she can't realistically be in the F or Mary version.
Yeah.
You know.
Now Amy Schumer, please.
Oof. I don't even want to pull her up.
That's the comedian, isn't it?
Yeah. You know the funniest thing? Oof, she's not an attractive person. Look at these. Oof. You know?
Yeah, she's not really.
No. There's just.
But you know, this is a perfect example of a personality goes a long way. You know, you see all these big guys and they're like, well, he makes me laugh.
Yeah.
You know, he's good to me. He makes me laugh. Amy Schumer is one of the funniest females, you know, probably on the face of the earth. So, I mean, she's got some high. I mean, she's at the roast of Donald Trump. People laugh at her. You know what I found about female comedians? Sometimes they try to go over the top to be silly, and that's her. That's kind of her.
Yeah, she's always seemed like to me one that went too far with it, like over the top with it. The funniest, she was at a roast with her. She was dating.
She dated not Ryan Reynolds, was it? Because he's married, didn't he?
Yeah, he's right. Blake Lively. She was dating another comedian at one point in time, and they were at a roast. And, that may have been a joke for the roast. I don't know, but they said they were dating. Anyway, the first time I ever saw her, she was doing a roast. It wasn't Donald Trump's, and it was hilarious. That was the funniest time. That was the only time I've ever seen her that I thought she was funny.
She dated Dolph Ziggler, the WWE wrestler, for a minute. Okay, so what's the answer? We're killing Casey Anthony without a shadow of a doubt.
Definitely. I'd have to F Amy Schumer because I don't want her around for the long term. You know what I mean?
Those redheads, I mean, they'll mix it up a little bit. So maybe you're marrying her. That's just a little bit of a. And of course, you're into politics.
Yeah, I mean, I'll have something to talk to her about.
You have nothing to talk about with Amy Schumer.
Not that I can think of right now. You know,
I'm going to marry Amy Schumer.
Okay.
Because I don't like politics.
Okay. And you don't want to have to talk about it.
I never want to hear about it. I hate everything when it gets to be political season.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if you're running for county commissioner or president. I don't want your sign in my yard.
Oh God, no.
I don't want to tell people who I'm voting for.
You know, yeah, we've already went over that. I was about to jump into something we used to do, but
I'm marrying this. She's ugly and she's round and
you know, if she get back to that, it'd be all right.
That's very good. I'm marrying Amy Schumer right here.
Yep.
I'm gonna have sexual relations with the
Jen Psaki.
With the fire crotch.
Well, there you go. Preston Penn says, funniest interaction you've ever had with a celebrity? One sports and one music? What kind of funny interactions have you had with celebrities? Didn't you sit on Shaq's lap and pretend to be
no. Never did that happen.
Nope. Ventriloquist dummy?
I guess no, it never happened. Not even that's stupid. Man, Brock Lesnar was a pretty funny story.
Yeah,
that was a funny story. For anybody that hadn't heard it, I'll do the quick version. Me and Mackie went to a Monday Night Raw the year prior to that. We were leaving Tootsie's and like the Bella Twins or Nikki Bella, Vicky Guerrero, Eva Marie, a bunch of the divas. Can't think of her name. Renee married to Dean Ambrose. They all came up watching the divas kind of dance. Jack Swagger comes in and he starts drinking, pounding beers. Mackie challenged him to a beer drinking contest. Swagger's about 6'5". He laughs at Mackie, beats Mackie in the drinking contest. Watching Jack Swagger and Nikki Bella dirty dance to AC/DC, You Shook Me All Night Long at the Tootsies was cool. So we thought, well, maybe we'll go back and get run into some more wrestlers. Nothing's happening. Going back downstairs, third level to the second level, we run into Brock Lesnar, damn near shoulder blocking. Mackie says, I'm going to go get a picture with him. I said, Mackie, I don't really think he's a good person in real life. Just don't do that. So I finally talked Mackie out of asking Brock for a picture. I said, just take a picture of him. Then that way we can say, hey, we saw Brock Lesnar at Tootsie's.
Right.
The problem is Mackie had his flash on.
Oof.
Brock's in the middle of a chug of a Coors Light, sees the flash, points at the security guard, points at Mackie. The security guard says nothing to Mackie, wrestles the phone out of his hand, deletes the picture, shoves the phone back in Mackie's chest. End of story.
Mm-hmm.
iPhone had just implemented this new thing called recently deleted photos. We're able to save the photo, then post it online the next day and bash Brock.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Brock, realistically, Jeremy Mackie about died.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah. No, that.
I mean, he'd have just been a snack for Brock Lesnar.
Yeah. That's probably the funniest, like celebrity, like athlete. Jamie Johnson, we said with music. Jamie Johnson, another Monday Night Raw, going downstairs. Me and Lindsay are going to the merchandise stand looking for something for Waylon. He was probably 2 or 3 at the time, and see this big burly bearded guy walking with these beautiful women. I'm like, oh, what in the world? And I said, it's Jamie Johnson. I said, that makes sense because he's a big burly guy like that. Usually don't have beautiful women unless he's famous.
Mm-hmm.
So I talked to him and actually he told me the story real quick. I said, what you got going on? He said, I'm going out to Los Angeles to Shooter Jennings' house next week. We're doing a CMT Crossroads together. I said, it's really cool, but how are y'all doing it together? And he said, well, they called me and I said, I want to do it. He said, they suggested me somebody in rock and roll to have a thing with. And I said, well, I want to do it with Shooter Jennings. They said, well, Shooter Jennings is country. And I told them, well, if Shooter Jennings is country, why don't you play him on CMT? And they said, fair enough, you can do it with Shooter Jennings. And so he, that was right before they done that, which ended up being a hell of an episode. And he says, all right, man, let's get in here and watch these grown men in wrestling or in underwear beat the hell out of each other. It's just kind of I don't know. Not a lot of funny stories with celebrities I've got.
Yeah, I mean, you don't really, but when you're with a celebrity, it's not, you got to you're doing a very specific thing. You don't have a lot of time to hang out.
Right. Andrew Meadows.
Let me ask this one because realistically, it's for you. When will Gary Payton and Karl Malone come out of retirement to rejoin the Lakers in pursuit of the 2022 NBA championship?
So Andrew's referencing the Lakers signing everybody in free agency this year, and everybody they're signing is old. Carmelo Anthony, 37 years old, Dwight Howard, mid-30s, but seems like he's 50. They're signing everybody for ring chasing, for LeBron's crew. And, Gary Payton and Karl Malone left after Gary had a long career in Seattle. Karl Malone had played 18 years in Utah. They joined up with the 04 Lakers with Shaq and Kobe to join a championship. And, of course, that was the team that flopped. And Shaq got traded. Phil Jackson got fired. And Karl Malone retired after that. Gary Payton did go on to win a championship in Miami. If Karl Malone still looks as good as he did,
yeah,
son of a bitch had never been hurt in his life and tears his ACL or something, or not tears his ACL, but he had a pretty catastrophic knee injury there, and didn't get to finish the season. But Karl Malone's not a good person, by the way. He's
absolutely not a good person. There's no good stories about Karl Malone other than he was a good basketball player.
But everybody else that can still play basketball, that's still in the NBA and needs a home, is on the Lakers this year. So, and I hope they fail miserably, just like that 04 Lakers team did.
You want to catch Ryan Hammers? No?
Ryan Hammer wants to know if you boys ever switch hit, if you know what I mean.
Well, does he mean?
Are you right-handed?
That's what I thought he might mean. I didn't know if he was meaning go lefty or switch teams. Sometimes
nobody's talking about switching teams.
Okay,
I would delete his number.
Okay,
out of my phone and send it.
Because I didn't know if he was offering, if that's what he was doing.
Oh well, it's Kentucky boys.
Yeah, you never know about them.
Well, I think that question was meant towards you.
I'm perfectly happy going right-handed. I'm right-handed.
But they say if you sit on your left hand for 10 minutes,
you sit on the hand that you normally use.
Oh, is that how it is? Really?
Well, what sense would it be? Because the other one's somebody else anyway.
Okay, but what if you imagine the sensation if you sit on your left hand though for 10 minutes? It's already weird when you do it anyway.
Yeah, it'd be super weird. It wouldn't even be fruitful. I wouldn't think. What about you? What do you probably left, right, upside down, backwards, and sideways?
I'd use my feet.
Yeah, I guarantee it.
My feet.
I guarantee it.
Which Olsen twin was hotter on Full House, Mary Kate or Ashley? Not now, just during their Full House days when they were 3.
Can the Titans be a Super Bowl contender with the defense we currently have?
Well, I can't get any worse. The defense was pretty bad last year, like historically bad. Like if they were in third and 1, I had full confidence they could stop a 3rd and 1 almost as much as they could at 3rd and 17. They were that bad. But the offense has got a chance to be really, really special. Can you want to Google Mary Kate and Ashley to see which one's hotter now?
No. Oh, now? Yeah, I will now.
When they're a child.
Yeah.
Be,
I say that.
How rude. They were ugly. They were ugly babies. My great-grandmother we lived with, she would always say it. She never said a bad word about anybody. She goes, those are ugly babies. And they grew up to be ugly girls, really.
Well, one of them is more attractive than the other one.
Yeah. The one on the right or left?
The one on the right's more attractive, I think.
I think the one on the left is.
Well, there you go.
Look at another picture. Oh, they're both.
The one on the right is more attractive than the one on the left here.
Yes. Left.
Yeah.
Hitting it. Right. Left.
Yep.
Left. Ugh.
Oof.
Boy. Left.
Yep.
Whichever one this is, that's consistently the one that's cuter. Whichever
this
one.
This one right here.
Yeah. I mean.
Now, here's my my fan. I think, for my money, Elizabeth Olsen's probably the most attractive.
She's younger, I guess.
Yeah, I believe so.
Of course she would be.
Yeah. I think she's more attractive. Consistently.
Well, it looks like she eats 3 meals a day, probably.
Yes.
That's the going thing for her. She looks like she eats.
Yeah.
She looks like she doesn't actually vomit all the meals.
I like somebody with a little bit more curves in it. So I'm going to go with Elizabeth Olsen.
What an option, but
Yep. Do you think Betty White is still sexually active at 99? I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that whoever wrote that question also wrote the question about the Olsen twins.
Yeah, it was Ryan Hammer.
Oh, these are all Ryan Hammer questions.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't think there's enough lube at the Love Shack to put Betty White in commission for a, trip to Pound Town.
What kind of person? what kind of person is taking old Betty White for a role anyway?
Some guys named
a guy named Brad's not.
No, Lester. Lester's trying to take a swing at it.
Yeah. 87-year-old Lester.
Jimmy probably. Well,
Jimmy might.
This is the Jimmy we know.
Yeah.
He's 8 to 80, cripple, blind, and crazy.
Call none.
Buford is taking. Buford is.
He take a swing at it.
He's hollering hard at Betty White, but
he might. What's that?
Lucas would probably take a swing at old Betty White.
Lucas wouldn't do it. I know a couple people with 4 initials that would go after it, but that'd be. Oof.
4 names.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about me. I'm Dustin Roger Kennedy.
Oh,
I read between the lines.
Mm-hmm.
Well, back when she was 87, possibly.
When she was 50, she could get it.
50, and that's crazy to think she's that old.
That was 50 years ago.
Yeah. I mean, Betty White at 50 probably could have got it. Yeah.
Well, she is old as old.
That's old. It's pretty old. It's pretty. Yeah. She's. I was always more of a Blanche.
Yeah.
I was always more of a Blanche fan, just because I could feel her promiscuous flavor. Betty White was a pretty good looking lady back in.
The problem with Betty White is she's been old for a long time.
Well, that's what happens when you're 99. It's actually you've been old.
Yeah, you've been. What the kids say, you've been being old.
Mm.
Yeah,
that's a little long in the tooth.
Yeah,
reckon she got any drapes left?
Ooh, I mean, probably all of them.
Yeah, I think they fall out after a certain while, don't they? Probably.
Oh, I don't have any idea. It's never occurred to me to just discover that.
If Betty White asked you to, could you be like a?
Nope.
Could you hypothetically?
Couldn't even.
Nope. Eminem's daughter Haley Jade in a bikini celebrates fit figure. Let's look at that while we're thinking about.
Betty White.
Betty White called you up and said, "I'm on my deathbed. I need a young man to come love."
If Betty White looked like that,
my dad's going crazy. Boy, Haley James done growed up. But what's that movie? He done growed up, girl. Oh, that's Tim McGraw's creepy dad on the football movie.
Here's the thing. She's not in bad shape by any stretch of the imagination. I wouldn't say that she looks fit. Fit to me, calls out a little muscularity. She doesn't look like she works out. She just looks like she's.
Well, we all don't have jiu-jitsu standards. Okay.
Well,
I think Haley Jade, beautiful.
She is beautiful. She is absolutely beautiful.
To be coming from the loins of Marshall Mathers, it's pretty impressive.
However, I don't see she doesn't look like she's working out a lot to me.
What was Marshall Mathers' wife's name? Kim.
Kim, yeah.
Kim had to have looked good at some point because Eminem wasn't exactly a sex symbol.
No. Well, she wasn't bad looking.
Well, that's very 2000-ish.
Oh,
She's got 2000s written all over in that picture. That. Well, I mean, where was she from? Like Red Bull originally? She looked like it.
Yeah.
Betty White calls you up and says, I've got
28 minutes to live.
I've got 50.
Nobody's ever gonna know.
I've got 5,000 acres.
Uh-huh.
And I'm about gone. I just need a man to romance me one last time.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna stop at the Boob and Lube and get you some.
I'm not trying it. What are you gonna tie it on one time?
Well, if I wasn't married, that's hypothetically, of course.
Uh-huh.
This is all hypothetical situation.
Yeah.
I mean, Betty White.
Yeah, I'm not tying that on.
The celebrity fiend that I am, just always looking to snort up a new celebrity.
Snort up.
Jason Lynn says, if you had to swap lives with any person you personally know for a week, who would it be?
That I personally know for a week. Oh, shit.
That's a good one.
That is a tough question.
Jason's got some good questions.
I don't know that many people.
Yeah.
That kind of limits you, I guess.
Well, buckle up. You know,
Yeah.
not anymore, but
Right. Yeah. Now you, I guess.
well, it comes with some baggage.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, it comes with a lot of baggage.
I think it would be good for both of us to swap for a little bit, just to like speed one of us up and slow the other one down.
Yeah. Maybe that's a good answer.
Yeah.
That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
If you had to move anywhere besides Tennessee to live for the rest of your life, where would it be and why?
Anywhere next to the ocean, somewhere next to an ocean. I'd be within, seeing distance of an ocean.
That's really the only answer, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm not gonna move somewhere where it's cold.
No.
I'm not gonna move somewhere outside of the United States either. More than likely, I'm not gonna move to I'm not gonna move to Georgia. Nothing against Georgia, but what's in Georgia? It's just a lot of heat and a lot of traffic.
It's so humid down there. And I'm just not going to there.
I'd probably move to every year when me and Lindsay would vacation in Tampa. Mm-hmm. Tampa is a pretty cool city. And
I've been to a bunch of neat I like these little towns like Cape San Blas, Florida. Super small town, not a lot going on, still close to the ocean. I like that. I'd go someplace like that. And I really enjoyed all of the coast of California, except for Los Angeles.
But there's so much bad about it.
But I wouldn't go to California.
I think I'm going somewhere to Florida. Because, people...
even like Mississippi.
Like,
ain't
nobody in Mississippi wants to live in Mississippi.
Gulfport, Mississippi is kind of a nice area. I went down there and checked it out. I was supposed to go down there and check it out. I don't think I went. Anyway.
First off, you're too white for Mississippi.
That's true.
They would have you...
But someplace down in there's now.
Mississippi's a shithole. And I want you to know that. I want you to think...
I've been there.
I just want you to know this is the worst answer you've ever given on this podcast. You've got 50 states to choose from in the whole world, really.
There's not a whole lot of them that are, south and still close to the...
Mississippi.
Mississippi's down on the coast.
The only worst answer you could give was Arkansas.
Louisiana? Well, Arkansas is not even on the fucking coast.
Yeah, but it's a terrible state.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Nobody, if you polled 49 other people...
Well, it's going to be Texas, and Texas is so hot when you get anywhere close to it.
I would rather live in...
Have you been to Galveston? It's miserable.
I would rather live in hell than Mississippi.
Well, it's kind of the same.
It's the same, and you wanted to live there. That's the one...
It's a beautiful area.
Oh, no, it's not.
Beautiful.
Show me one thing about Mississippi. Google something. Beautiful Mississippi.
Let me show you right here. Gulfport, Mississippi. Oof. Let me show you some images here.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I told you.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Still not going to live there because I can find anything in Florida that looks somewhat like that.
I know, but the problem is then you're living in Florida.
Yeah.
And you're always going to be like, always Florida man. Always think of Florida man. If you live there, you're going to have to live with those idiots that always make it on the
What in the hell do you think's residing in Mississippi?
Not enough to make it to national news. Like,
no, yeah, because Florida, yeah, it's always like, well, that happened in Florida.
Yeah.
But Mississippi, even though it's a nice place you're showing me, you're still living in the depths of hell of Mississippi.
I'd rather live there than... I don't know. I'd rather live there than a lot of places.
That is a beautiful little image. Mm-hmm. That one Google image is beautiful.
And, here's the thing. They keep repeating it over and over again, so maybe it's... it's that one image that's really pretty, apparently.
It's like when you get on Hotels.com and it's a standard photo. They don't have the actual...
It's the one really, really nice room.
I would go to Texas or Florida.
What part of Texas would you go to, though?
I don't know. Not Houston.
No, you flooded all the time.
Maybe Dallas.
Yeah.
Maybe Dallas. There's sports teams there.
San Antonio's really good.
It seems boring.
Have you been to San Antonio?
No.
The downtown area of San Antonio I really enjoyed because it's got like that. You can take the boat and go around the middle of the town. Anyway, Texas is nice.
This is a good one, and this is a tough one. I've cheated, and I've read these because I typed them.
Right.
If you were given $100,000 to spend in 24 hours, but couldn't let anyone know about it, what would you buy? And I said, and I asked that, I was like, okay, so can I buy like a boat? Can I buy a truck? He's like, not without explaining where you got the money from.
But how do you? The answer is I'd like to buy some stock, but I'll have to go put that money in the bank. So does that count as me? Have I told somebody then?
I just feel like, well, no, you didn't tell your wife that you put $100,000 in stocks.
Right. But I told the person at the bank that I put. Well, yeah, I didn't tell them what I'm buying, did I?
No.
Oh, I have to tell the feds what I spent $100,000 on.
I'm glad that I'm glad your brain was set up like that, because the first time Jason texted that to me, I was like, why is he setting me up to have me answer cocaine and hookers and escorts on the air live and
why does he want to do that?
Why does he want to do that to me?
Why does he got to throw me out like that?
Because obviously that's everybody's first answer. If you win $100,000, but nobody can know it, well, I'm buying 5 escorts and a pound of cocaine.
Right. Okay. Yeah. My first thought was stocks, but because nobody really knows what you're. You can have a stock account and nobody really knows what's in it,
Oh.
Yeah. But cocaine, hookers, and escorts are my second thought.
I say that. Only reason I say that, do you remember when the lottery got up so big? And then
that guy they caught
he was in the convenience store and he was like, hey, sir, what would you buy? Cocaine and
hookers.
Yeah, that's the only reason I answered like that. I thought it was a really good question.
That is a really good question. That'd be hard to do. But
maybe buy some vacation property.
Yeah, I mean, buy the only two things that makes any sense are property or stocks.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's it. Atlanta Carpenter coming in big time, man. I call her Atlanta Carpenter. I think her name legally still is Atlanta Knight, but any female,
she's always going to be Carpenter.
Yeah, any female I've ever met before your first marriage.
That coworker that thinks they are the boss. Talked about them.
I don't remember if we talked. This may be something I've talked. I don't have really know. We don't do the best job of remembering our podcast, but I was thinking about, like, I know some people in particular who, and again, we may have already talked about this, and this is where she gets it from, and she's expecting more stories like this. I have no idea. There's a lady in particular I know that works at a couple different stores in Cookeville, and you go up to her, and and I said, hey, do you guys still have that couch that was in your newspaper for sale? No, I don't think I got that, honey. I don't think I got that.
Uh-huh.
I'll have to look. I think I sold my last one.
Yeah.
Well, you work for Lowe's.
Yeah.
You work for Walmart.
It's not yours. It's the company's. Can you look and see if the company has another one? Because I'm not talking about what's at your house.
It just comes off pretty douchey that you think this is you. You got a name tag on, because you work for them. You don't have that. You don't.
Right.
Store
That's
does.
not you.
There's a lot of people that works in businesses, whether it's a gas station, all the way up to corporations, that say, I don't think. That's what I think of when I think about coworkers who think they're the boss. I can't think of any coworkers that I've had that thinks they're the boss.
I can think of a couple of stories. However, I might have to go work with those people again at some point in time, so I'm not going to tell them.
Yeah. I mean, there's always somebody that.
Oh yeah, like there's the guys that will come and tell you what to do. They get put into a situation where they may be a team lead. They're over like 3 or 4 people, and now they think that they run the whole department. And they're going to come tell everybody how to get their stuff running. I need my line doing this. Well, as a matter of fact, you're not priority of the plant. I apologize that now you're inconvenienced because your equipment's not running, but there's something behind you that makes much more sense for me to be working on right now.
Yeah.
I've gotten that situation a few times. It's always somebody who's got the taste of a little bit of power that then wants to say, well, since I've got this, I'm king shit. Now I'm all of
it. Something men do that they think women like, but we actually don't. Example was dick pics for her, and vice versa.
Well, that was news to me that nobody likes that. Something men do that they think women like, but we actually don't. I don't know. That's a good example. I'm sure there's all kinds of stuff. Probably slapping them on the ass. I slap Kara's ass every chance I get. She probably doesn't like that.
Nah, there's TikToks where women get so used to you smacking their ass that, like, when you don't smack their ass, they're like, "What the hell?"
Oh, really?
But that's just for comedy purposes. Right. But something that men do that we think women like, but they actually don't. Yeah, I think it depends on the woman.
Yeah.
Sometimes I can say stuff.
I'm assuming that Kara doesn't like it when I do the dishes, so I don't do that. I'm assuming that she doesn't like it when I vacuum, so I don't do that.
I'll catch Lindsay standing there and I'll say something maybe it's borderline inappropriate if you know me.
Oh, yeah.
And she'll just, sometimes it flows. Sometimes it's like, what the hell's wrong with you?
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
Right.
Why are you the way you are? Kind of shit,
Yeah.
Vice versa. Well, this is right. I'm just trying. That's the thing about this. I try to type these questions in
and not answer them. I'm thinking the thing that I think slapping her on the ass is the one that comes to my head right at first. I can't think of anything else. I'm pretty confident that nothing else I do she likes. So it's it's hard to think.
Well, what does women do that you
know what I
think?
hate? When if we're holding hands and like you rubbing, like her rubbing like on my hand or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's like sandpaper. What are you doing? Stop. I don't like that. And like taking your fingernails.
Well, it seems like your wife needs moisturizer.
No, her skin's perfectly fine. Nobody else has a problem with it. And like when you take fingernails and rub them up and down to somebody's back, something like that. I don't like that. Stop it.
You don't like your back tickled?
No, I don't like that.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Maybe you just have a problem with affection. You heartless bastard.
Well, as a matter of fact, last night, Camden, we were getting ready to leave my mom and dad's house, and Camden, I said, give everybody hugs and kisses to Camden and to Eli. We got ready to go. Camden goes, are you going to hug anybody? I said, well, and my dad coming to my defense, I hug him throughout the week. Don't worry about it. Mom said, I've already got it. Camden goes, oh, okay. And I thought, I don't know when the last time I did that was.
My wife thinks I love it when she washes my work clothes and leaves them in the dryer excessively for a long time. That way they don't have to actually be
folded and put away.
Then, when it comes Monday morning and I work in an office setting 5 days out of the week, of course you got casual Friday.
Yeah.
But every day's not casual Friday, so sometimes I need stuff to be ironed. And I don't iron because I don't assume she wants me to do that.
Right.
I don't think she likes it when I iron. So I leave it up to her. And
I'll tell you something else I don't like. If I've got a chore that I do, like going and mowing the yard or doing something like that, I don't like it that you take it upon yourself to think, oh, he'll enjoy it if I do that for him. I won't enjoy that. Don't do that for me.
I didn't like when Lindsay used to mow because we couldn't keep blades. She just run over if
nobody's going to do it the way I want it done. So just don't, I don't like that. Don't try to do something that I do normally.
Alana also goes on to say most inconvenient times or places you needed to do at number 2.
Elevators.
You're on there very long. What do you mean?
But you get ready, you let off a little pressure in your elevator, and there's always somebody in there, and you're really going. You think, ooh, I just gotta. If I just let a little pressure off right now, it'd be okay.
Well, the most inconvenient times is anywhere in public.
Yeah.
No, I went last Sunday at Sam's Club. I don't have a care a lot. I'm just like,
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, I don't think that's inconvenient because there's a bathroom right there. Right?
Yeah, but I mean, think about if you were at the marathon in Hermitage.
Yeah.
I
think
gas station in
like being in meetings. I've had to in meetings, like when you're the lead or you're doing something. It's your meeting or you're taking notes like you're the secretary of the meeting.
Yeah.
And then you've got to explain it because I've had that happen twice. It's just like, oof, I've got to.
The worst.
Break time.
That is terrible. That's a bad one. Also,
when you're chasing cows is pretty bad.
Driving to work because I've got a 45-minute drive.
Yeah.
It's one of those deals where you hover around the bathroom for a few minutes before you leave, and you're like, "Oh man, my stomach,
I'll be fine."
Come on, man. Then you get like 7 minutes from the house, which means you're 33 minutes at least from Cookeville, and you don't trust any of the gas stations in Gainesboro.
You're not stopping there.
To stop there. So I'm talking to God, son. I'm talking to God on Highway 56. I'm like, please, God, just let me get to 500 Gould, son. Let me.
And you're like, I might turn around and go back right now.
Yeah.
I might be late for work today.
No, there's been times I'll bounce my ass in my seat of my truck going down the grade saying, oh my God, I got 12 more minutes. Then I get to that on the run right there on 70.
Yeah.
We turn right to Baxter, left toward Spring Street. And I'm like, man, I'm 8 minutes. I'm 7 minutes. If I go to Cane Creek, please. You're debating about pulling into Cane Creek and dropping a deuce, but the gate's still locked.
Oof.
What are you going to do there? Because they're trying to rape little boys out there at Cane Creek. Cane Creek's out there known for that weird activity. I'm not tapping my feet underneath the stalls trying to get into that activity.
I ain't trying to get in on it.
You know, I'm trying to drop a deuce. And I barely make it. Then you know what? Then you get there and somebody wants to talk to you.
Oh, I hate that. You're
already
sweating.
sweating.
You're sweating.
Like
Everybody knows what you've been driving in. Have you been doing some physical activity that would cause you to sweat? No. Why else would you be sweating? You're girlfriend right now.
Your girlfriend, like Martin Lawrence said on that stand up back in like '92, to take the cool out you walk. Yeah. You know, you get and you're like, hey, got to take this phone call, and you go up there and it's like Jeff Daniels from Dumb and Dumber. It just finally explodes, and it's the most orgasmic feeling. Oh. It's not convenient. I remember taking a kid of Mackie. It was a friend of Mackie's child. Take him to a Titans game, and let me text Lindsay real quick. No, we're good. And anyway, we got to the Baxter exit and got, hey man, we're at this next exit, and after this exit, we can't stop about 30 minutes. If you have to go, let's stop here. He's like, no, I'm good. Next thing you know, he goes, I pooped myself.
Oh.
And the whole car is just smelling like turds, you know? And we got the windows rolled down going about 90.
Yeah.
Go down I-40. We stop at Carthage.
Uh-huh.
Let the boy, I mean, you know, he dropped his drawers I guess he threw his underwear away. Mm-hmm. He wiped down as good as he could in the McDonald's right there. Mm-hmm. And then he puts his clothes on, still smelling like a pile of shit. He got the dirty clothes in the trunk on a hot August day.
Oof.
We stopped him at Lebanon Outlet Mall. Mm-hmm. This kid can't run into the Five and Dime. He can't run into the Nike Outlet. No, this kid goes into Gap and spends about $56 on Mackey's money.
Yeah.
You know?
Get them new Gap jeans. Yeah.
the turds are manifested in a Walmart bag in my trunk of Lindsay's old car, which, you know, think about how that smelled.
Yeah.
We washed the kid's clothes and we had to call his mom and said the kid shit himself.
Yeah.
Had to smell like a rotten turd all the way to Nashville.
Here's the thing. You can't let a kid decide when they need to use the potty. Mm-mm. You got to tell them.
Well, the kid was like 10.
Really?
I mean,
okay.
You know?
All right. Well, I don't have any experience at that point. I thought you were talking about a 5-year-old.
Well, hey, I pissed myself when I was 5. I was like the Miles Turner, you know, not Miles Davis. People will be shocked. You know, I don't care. It's enough time to pass. Miss Cherry Ann, we saw Miss Cherry Ann at the Dairy Burger the other day, and she was like, talking about my child, I was talking about Bayless being so rowdy, and I said, he's really bashful at school. She goes, he can't be worse than you were. You didn't talk. And I didn't talk. If anybody remembers me in school, it wasn't until about 7th grade I come out of my shell.
Really?
The 9th grade, you know, bam.
Yeah.
You know, but...
macheted out of the shell at 9th grade.
So, yeah. Well, a lot of, you know, especially like junior year. And, but then I was so bashful, we were walking in PE. I was too scared to ask Miss Cherry Ann to go to the bathroom. I pissed myself. I walked to the gym and piss. I had my old Stetson jeans. Yeah. Stetson make jeans?
I don't think so.
Yeah, they do. In this story, they do.
Okay.
This story, they do.
Yeah.
Pal.
Yeah.
And I had Stetson jeans on. They were nice. They were Flex Fit before Flex Fit was a thing.
Why? Yeah. You can do all kinds of ninja moves in them.
Unbelievable.
Take them everywhere.
Straight up pissed myself and just walked in the piss, man. Then I got back and Miss Trian's like, you peed yourself. And I wore those damn one fucking fit all stretch pants, those purple joggers they kept in the closet. Wore those home.
Yeah. That's what they're for.
And Mom was like, what do you mean you pissed yourself? Could you ask to go to the damn bathroom? What do you mean you pissed yourself?
Yeah.
I gotta watch these ugly ass purple one size fit all jogging pants.
Yeah.
Nathan Purcell had them on last week.
Oof.
I'll say Nathan Odell. Maybe Nathan Odell.
You know.
I pissed myself, guys, because I was too bashful to go ask the kindergarten teacher to take a number 1. Yeah.
Yeah. That's things kids do, though. You know.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Yeah. What are things that women obsess over, but men probably don't even notice or care about anyway? I would say makeup.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen plenty of women who are beautiful without makeup.
Yeah.
And it really, you know, nobody. Here's the thing, girls. And I know Red Bull's going to think I'm picking on them again. But remember those girls that used to. Girls in Red Bull, and I just always remember Macon County in general. Uh-huh. They look like they're about to go take some damn glamour shots or something before they took the ball court.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they have all the mascara on, all the...
And you know, but before they knew how to, like, smooth their makeup out, they'd have a hard line line of makeup right under the jawline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Like, you don't have to wear all that makeup.
Yeah. Is it attractive? Yeah, you can be attractive in makeup. That's not what we're saying. It's like, but I don't need it. It's not I don't need somebody to be in makeup.
There's a lady on TikTok that's so deceiving. I had a friend that sent it to me, and the girl, it looked like she's meth havened up. I mean, I'm talking crater face a little bit, and just looked rougher than a night in jail. Hair was a mess. No teeth. You know, then little by little, she pops her dentures in. She starts putting makeup on, eye makeup. This girl's beautiful.
Right.
It's like the definition of going home at 2 with a 10, waking up at 10 with a 2.
Oof.
You know, but she was like a 0.6. She wasn't even a 2. It was like,
didn't even hit that 2.
I'm talking rough, son, rough. And so it's deceiving. It's like if you and I went out to the club and stuffed our pants, then go back to the apartment.
And let them feel all over it. And then
they're like, well, that's not the same.
Oh,
that's not the
what
same.
is this?
It's
That's not what I bought at the club. You know.
Yeah, it's not what I bought.
I bought a Mercedes and I got home and I've got a Fiat. What's happening here? You know, this isn't what I wanted.
Yeah. I think that weight. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's obsessive assholes out there that want their women just to be bean poles. I don't enjoy bean pole.
No, I don't. Obsessing over whether or not you got a little extra around the midsection. I don't give a shit.
Well, here's what I've learned in my experience. I'm not going to sit here and preach to any woman about weight.
Yeah.
You know, especially if you get older.
Yeah.
When you're younger, that might be a thing you say.
Yeah.
As you get older, I look at myself and I'm like, well, you know, I'm probably not going to be on the cover of Muscle and Fitness magazine by the goddamn self.
Mm-mm.
So, probably just stay off of that. Weight's kind of a...
Let's probably just not talk about it.
It's
let's just not talk about either one of our weights. You know, don't obsess over it for sure. I don't know how you think you look versus if you're obsessed over how you think you look and how you think you're being perceived, then that's something that you're obsessing on. Nobody else is. That's what I think. Anyway.
Battle of the band. I'm not sure if she's asking. She just put Battle of the Band 80s and 90s.
I would say 90s.
You're taking 90s over 80s?
Yeah, all day long. I hate 80s music.
I think it's two different vibes.
Mm-hmm.
As the children say.
AC/DC is a piece of shit band.
Come on, man. No, they're not.
Yep. Yep.
Man.
Let's see some other bands from the 80s.
Well, listen. I'm not grouping AC/DC into either or either, as you would say, of 80s or 90s. When I think of 80s, I'm thinking like Motley Crue, Def Leppard, Poison.
3 piece of shit bands already.
You know, White Snake, Foreigner.
Mm-hmm. All of those. Junk. An absolute awful musical genre that come up there.
Well, you had a bunch of dudes in
makeup and big hair.
But look what they're doing in 2021. Motley Crue, Def Leppard, and Journey. All those guys I just mentioned, they're on tour together and selling out stadiums.
Is that crazy?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like Motley Crue, Def Leppard, and Poison were on a stadium tour that got canceled due to COVID, and they're rescheduling. Mm-hmm. So say what you want to about the guys.
They're still shit. I still wouldn't watch any of them. I still think their music is shit.
Okay, so which one would you rather be around? A bunch of 80s dudes that dress like girls but have a positive energy, or you'd rather go with your flannel-wearing guys of the 90s who mumble-mouthed a bunch of depressing lyrics and fucking shotgun themselves to a grave?
Yep.
Heroin and shotguns is how grunge music went out.
Yep.
So you're going to take Soundgarden, Pearl Jam, Nirvana, Stone Temple Pilots, Alice in Chains. Did I say Alice in Chains?
Nope.
All that. Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yep.
I like
Red Hot Chili Peppers, unfortunately, is an 80s band. I didn't realize that. Green Day is an 80s band. Radiohead is an 80s band.
Green Day didn't hit their peak until that debut album in 94. Okay. Right. Red Hot Chili Peppers, I think, would be associated like the 1990, 91.
Yeah.
It's when they hit their stride.
Yeah.
I don't consider them 80s bands.
Yeah.
I would think Green Day.
I think any one of those bands that took like, had like 3 good albums and then went out with a blaze of glory. I think all of those are better than most of those 80s bands.
Nirvana
is better.
None of those guys are selling out stadium tours in 2021.
Well, they're not alive to do it.
Well, why? Because they done heroin and wrote depressing music.
But it was fantastic music.
I liked it all. I'm just saying both sides of the. You can't say it was terrible. Kurt Cobain.
Here's the thing: 80s music's terrible. 90s music was not.
So
people have that nostalgia shit wrapped up in their 80s music because it was the shit that they were playing when they were getting their glamour shots, getting their hair teased up, taking the T-tops off of their Trans Am and going driving around town.
So
you know,
when Frank
barking tires and cutting donuts and stuff.
Tell me you didn't get in your feels watching Frank the Tank on Old School fixing his car in the front yard to little Here I Go Again. Here I go again. White Snake. Frank the Tank.
I don't remember it.
What do you mean you don't know it? You know the song.
I said I don't remember it. I don't remember that scene, so I can't tell you whether I got my feels or not.
You talk to me like a child again.
I'll come across. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll come across this table, put you across my knee, and give you a spanking next time.
Poison's not bad.
They are. They're awful.
Every Rose Has Its Thorn. You hate that song?
I've heard it enough.
How about Talk Dirty to Me? Shot to the Heart.
Talk Dirty to Me. Ain't that a new song?
Yeah, but it's not Poison. How about John Bon? You cannot disparage
Bon Jovi is all right.
Okay.
Yeah. Poison and Brett Michaels. Brett Michaels is a terrible musician.
It's your opinion.
Yeah.
It's your opinion.
And I've heard their music enough. Every Rose Has Its Thorn.
It's a good song.
Yep. And I've heard it enough.
What about their other
I'll still
songs?
listen to. That's only. I can't tell you any other songs of theirs.
Nothing But a Good Time.
I don't know that one.
Nothing But a Good Time was even so good. Yogi Bear wanted to use it for his movie.
I don't remember.
Don't know nothing but a good time. I don't know where I spent last night. I spent all my money on women and wine, but I couldn't tell you where I spent last night.
What's the rhythm?
I don't want nothing but a good time.
Oh, I do remember that.
Not bad, is it?
Yep. I wouldn't listen to it again, though.
Yes, you would.
No.
If it was on the radio, you turn it.
I would.
You suck.
I turn that 80s shit every chance I get.
Sorry that people like to being happy, Lucas. Sorry.
I like a good depressing song over any of that shit that they do.
Apology.
Oh, yeah. What else should
In the sun. In the sun. Man. You know what I could understand in the 80s? Lyrics. Lyrics. I couldn't understand a damn word in the
You couldn't understand their lyrics better than you could
Molly Crew.
Alice in Chains.
Motley Crue, I could.
Yeah, maybe. They were still a shit band, though.
Motley Crue is not a shit band.
They are.
You've got me so mad about the 80s that you're making me talk bad about the 90s, which I also like.
Yeah.
Just because you look better in flannel than spandex don't mean you got to get all ill.
The 80s music, shit music. AC/DC, I thought was shit music my entire life. They used to play that whenever we would go out playing basketball. That would be the thing that they were playing.
Yeah, and you didn't get fired up.
No, I hated that shit the whole time that they were doing it. Danger Zone was the only thing that I ever liked that they played. And it was because Van Eric Short turned around and sang Danger Zone to me one time. And that may have come out of the 80s. It may have been 90s. I don't know.
What do you mean? It was the 80s. It was
Okay,
Days
it
of
could have
Thunder.
been. Danger Zone was Top Gun.
Top Gun, that's what I meant.
Yeah, and I don't know whether you said Days of Thunder, which is also a Tom Cruise movie, so good job, a little bit. But
exactly.
I don't know what year Top Gun came out. It could have been 90. It could have been 1990s.
It could have been 1989.
Could have been. I don't know.
Either way, it's a good song.
It's a good song. But AC/DC and those hair band other shit, it's awful.
It don't matter what year.
It's awful.
It don't matter what year.
It's awful.
Just because you do that don't mean you get the final word on it.
Metallica is good.
Is it?
Yeah. AC/DC is shit.
It's not.
Uh-huh.
Until you see
tell me your best Motorhead song.
Time to Play the Game by Triple H. They do Triple H's theme song, and I love it.
I said,
it's time to play the game. And I know I said by Triple H, but it is Triple H.
You threw me off so far. I thought, what is that?
It's time. Tell me you don't get fired up when you see that sledgehammer come across the Titantron, and it's Motorhead, and it's Remy getting you.
Well, let's go ahead and say Lemmy.
Lemmy.
Yeah.
It's Remy, though, too. Lemmy, I know. Lemmy. Oh, there he is right there. See, I know his face, so shut up with that Remy stuff.
Yeah.
Remy is the Michael Rappaport's character in Higher Learning. That's what I was thinking of.
Oh,
the old skinhead.
Yeah.
Man.
Anyway.
But you bring up Top Gun, and even if it's 89 or 90, that's 80s music.
Yeah.
Because it's not.
I didn't say the entire soundtrack was worth of shit. I said Danger Zone was a good song.
It is a good song, and it's 80s music.
Yeah. Let me see.
Until you see Brad Craig playing the air guitar to Thunderstruck.
Kenny Loggins, Danger Zone.
I know who it was. Got it on my
1986.
Well, good. It belongs there.
Yeah.
Either way.
90s is better.
Well, and 80s are still alive, so whatever. How do you guys feel about dating your 30s and 40s? I wouldn't recommend
Glad I don't have to do it.
Well, my wife isn't a fan of me dating my 30s and 40s. So she, what keeps y'all from dating your 30s and 40s? My wife.
Yeah.
Before we go on to the next questions, we want to flip it over and just a couple of things to start the show over with before we get into more things. James Rinks, after he completely roasted me on me being a complete dumbass of not knowing Atlanta, Georgia was the state capital, he follows up with a simple text on Monday morning saying, Padre is father in Spanish, you idiot.
Oh, well, there you go. That's what the guy is. He's a priest then. The guy that was in their fucking, what do you call them?
In the basement.
Their mascot. Their mascot is a priest then. There you go. Padre is father in Spanish.
So he said,
I am an idiot.
I just told him, I said, there
it is. Yep.
I said,
that's hilarious.
I said, it's a stupid effing name and you know it Rinks. He says, definitely not the best. I said, the San Diego Fathers is terrible. It's like the Cleveland Guardians, but worse. And I said, at least I hope I get some points back for that Tony Gwynn reference. He said, if you can name the best player in club history, you get a pass, no doubt. So, yeah. Padre, though.
Yeah.
And our new listener, after all these episodes, my boy Blake Johnson is alive. And a new One Lane Road podcast listener.
Mm-hmm.
We finally got the other Johnson brother listening.
There you go.
The less metrosexual one.
Yeah.
Sorry, Thad. I'm talking about you. I didn't want there to be confusion like there was another Blake Johnson listening.
I got really quiet because I thought you were about to... were you about to make an announcement?
No.
For your show or something?
No.
Okay. Why don't you do that real quick while we're taking a quick break? We're an hour in. Why don't you make a show announcement?
Oh, just talking about the Chris Knight show?
Yeah.
Just Chris Knight. It is, let's see. Let me get my information here. September 4th, we've got about 50 tickets left.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and that's the Chris Knight show in Salina.
Yeah,
at
I'm
the
sorry.
Women's Pavilion.
Let's just go ahead and let's just start over. Would you like
Start
to,
over,
would you
bud.
like, what would you want to say?
Hey, why don't you go ahead and make a little announcement about your shows while we're taking a break?
I'm sorry. Yeah, I didn't realize what we were doing.
Yeah.
But I would love to go ahead and say Chris Knight.
Yeah.
Over there at the Clay County's Fairgrounds, Women's Pavilion, Women's Building.
Mm-hmm.
That's 215 Arcot Road. Here's the problem with Salina. You Google 215 Arcot Road, it's liable to take you to Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Here's what I found out. The boy that's letting me rent the building, he said, the problem with 215 is I gave that address to somebody.
And they went down Arcot, probably.
And they ended up in Moss.
Oof. Yeah.
Okay. So anybody that's by chance listening to this podcast, when you put in 215 Arcot, Salina, Tennessee, when you should be pulling into the fairgrounds, it'll still say keep going for 900 feet. Don't look at the sign. It says Clay County Fairgrounds. Really scared about that. To be honest with you, because
Here's
I've
the
met
thing.
people.
Here's the thing, people. Look over at the area where there's the buildings and there's a place that looks like there should be goats and pigs in a corral over there. That's actually where you're going. You're going to the building beside of the corral.
And of course, that show is presented by myself and most importantly, Amonette's Eagle Auction and Realty, Lee J. Amonette out of Birdstown. He's our sole sponsor for the event. You can find all his listings, man. He's killing it. He's got houses. He's got listings. He's got a beautiful place up in Kentucky right now, a house with a paved driveway. It takes you right down to the lake. There ain't many people that can drive down from their house and roll right down the hill with your boat and put in right behind your house. But that's up in Kentucky. Beautiful property.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing online auctions. That's Amonette Eagle Auction and Realty. Lee J. Amonette. Dusty Candy Entertainment for all the haters out there. Locally hated, that is. And Chris Knight with special guest Addison Johnson. About 50 seats remain. We are going to sell out, so you go ahead and get them because I'm not gonna feel sorry for you when September 4th comes. You roll up to the gate, and I've been telling you on Facebook 16 times a week, get your tickets. So they're moving fast. So it sold about 10 more yesterday. So we're getting it rolling 3 weeks from this Saturday. So
Man, coming in fast too, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready for September 5th. Also, my boy Royal Smith, we mentioned him last week.
He said, "Hey, got that pod shout out. Let's go, boys."
So I wanted to like kind of step into the body of a 24-year-old because there's a certain way they say that. You know,
I got
me and you say that, and I'm just going to try to be young once.
Okay.
Hey, got that pod shout out. Let's fucking go, boys. Let's go. That's what it is. Let's go. You know, I got to put a lot of emphasis on that go.
I didn't know.
We don't because we're old.
I got you.
You know, hey, Got hey.
Hey.
Well, see, we're still a little too country on this cornbread. You know what I'm talking about?
I got you.
We got to put a little more ghetto in it when you say it. Hey. Now I sound like Fonzie from the Happy Days, which nobody's going to get that reference.
Let me get it. Hey. Was that it?
No, that's what I was referencing.
Oh.
Got that pod shot. Let's effing go, boys.
Says, only guy I know who can be born in Pierre, South Dakota and move to a shittier location. Sparta, Tennessee.
I meant to work that in last week when I was, because he yelled at me and said, "Hey man, I'm from Pierre, South Dakota," and I meant to say that. I was like, "This is the only dude I can know."
Well, you're from a terrible place and it's awfully cold
and you moved to Tennessee.
Why would you?
And you picked Sparta.
Yeah. What are you doing?
Where people don't say hello, they say yurt.
You've got an entire group of people there in that town that'll put yurt on their vehicle like it means something.
Yeah.
They also put locally hated on their back glass. So there you go.
They all do. Somebody sent me that the other day, locally hated stickers. I forget who it was, but and they have yurt everything up there. I was eating. They always delicious.
Can I get some yurt flavored ice cream?
You can get some yurt nutrition. We like my sponsor Brick Nutrition.
Mm-hmm.
There's a yurt nutrition in Sparta up next to the always delicious Templeton Barbecue. But I'm not going to really talk about Templeton Barbecue because they don't sponsor us.
Can you get some yurt nuggets at Yurt Donald's out there?
You probably can. Justin Stewart liked to tell us he's in Florida. He says, I'm 0 for 6 in Florida when I asked Hal about it.
I've been on a dry streak here lately, too. You got to keep at it, Justin. Because I've been on a real bad dry streak about not getting the correct response lately.
He said, no one's responded with don't know it, but he said, I did get some waitresses' life story. That's the risk you take.
When you're playing that game, sometimes people will tell you what about it. Is the problem.
They'll tell you all about it.
Because sometimes people have something in their head that they're thinking about, and they're going to tell you about it. Sometimes,
and they'll tell you all about it.
Yeah.
Your day, their life, their marriage.
Yeah, you gotta really catch eyes with that person prior to going. How about it? Or you got to be moving rather quickly to let them know that you don't really care.
Yeah, it's like the person that's the extreme pessimist at your work. You meet them in the morning. Hey, how are you?
Yeah, you don't ask that one.
The correct answer is, hey, I'm good.
Yeah.
Thanks. How are you?
Yeah.
And you both keep walking in your opposite directions. Then you get that one. They'll say, well, second shift didn't do anything last night. We come into no parts. The schedule is messed up because they don't know how to schedule anything up there. Then I've got 3 people that won't come into work. 2 called out. The other one's on FMLA.
Mm-hmm.
She ain't been working 3 weeks.
Right. When you're screwed. Well, as soon as you hear, oof, I wasn't walking fast enough. I wasn't moving quickly.
Much chagrin to Curtis Rich. This is not a turkey hunting joke. Don't worry.
Mm-hmm.
Happy birthday.
Who?
The most famous pro wrestler in the history of the game.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Well, it's debatable. Yeah. The immortal Hulk Hogan.
Oh, well, there you go.
The immortal Hulk Hogan. Terry Bollea. The Hulkster, baby, turning, I think, 68 today.
Really?
Curtis says he's the most overrated pro wrestler in history. And I say, look, Curtis, me and Don try to tell him this. It's not what he does. It's his historical.
His fake wrestling is particularly worse than other people's fake wrestling. But
some people think you got to go out here and do all these flips and do all this.
He's not
crazy,
Rey Mysterio.
He's not. And look, he's the biggest pro wrestler in the history. It's 1A, 1B. It's Stone Cold Steve Austin. It's Hulk Hogan.
Here's the thing. Hulk Hogan's one of the best. I got a question for you because I've had this in my mind recently. We must have talked about Hulk Hogan not too long ago because I've had this in my mind and I cannot find it. Hulk Hogan in a movie. And he has a boat.
Thunder in Paradise.
Thunder in Paradise. I didn't
know if he's going to talk about Thunder in Paradise. Or he's going to talk about The Nanny. I didn't know he's going to talk about Suburban Commando. Which should won an Oscar. Suburban Commando had a young Mark Calloway in it. Undertaker as the
Thunder
heel.
in Paradise is what I was wondering.
Thunder in Paradise, which also made a terrible sitcom on TNT.
Really?
Yeah. Hey, here's the thing about him. I told him today, CM Punk is Curtis Rich's favorite wrestler. I said, CM Punk was shitting green and drawing Pepsi tattoos on himself and with magic markers when Hulk Hogan was selling out the world, baby, selling out Madison Square Garden, slamming Andre. Okay? He's the biggest name not named Steve Austin. It just depends on what area you're in. It's 1A, 1B.
Oh, yeah.
Hulk Hogan, Steve Austin. Nobody expected this guy to have 5-star matches all over the country, okay? He's Hulk Hogan. He is the wrestling business. And this is coming from a Shawn Michaels guy. Shawn Michaels the great. And Shawn Michaels is the greatest package. And I'm not talking about his package. I'm talking about charisma, in-ring ability, storytelling, psychology. HBK is the greatest of all time. And Hulk Hogan is the greatest worker of all time because he made the most money other than Steve Austin. Get out of here with that independent wrestling darling CM Punk. He should be wrestling in a bingo hall in Philadelphia somewhere.
I don't know anything about boats to mount anything, but I've had this boat in my mind recently. You know, I think in the movie he was able to sit down in the boat and the top close on it.
Yeah,
which may have been like CGI of the time. And I've been thinking about that boat recently for some reason.
Huh. That's I've never seen. I don't remember that from the TV show.
This is not it. I stopped on it randomly. This is the nope. That boat right there. That's the boat that I had in mind. I've been thinking about that boat and them closing the top on it.
Huh.
Yeah, I don't know.
Thunder in Paradise, baby.
Thunder in Paradise. I meant to ask you that. I meant to text it to you, but I forgot about it.
Without naming the state you're from, tell us something it's famous for.
If I said country music capital, everybody would know.
Everybody. So, what about a little something? That's obviously number one.
You would say this is where home of Elvis Presley and Justin Timberlake. I don't know if that may be less well known.
I think Elvis Presley would be a hit. I think it falls under the radar a little bit that Justin Timberlake.
It's also from Memphis
boy. Yeah. There's shoot. I mean the mountains.
Smoky Mountains.
Smoky Mountains. I think okay, that's about
Dollywood.
Dolly Parton.
Yeah,
will probably be more. Maybe that's it. Not really football, but Tennessee football is pretty a big deal.
UT football.
UT football is. But I mean, country music's the obvious. Is the obvious answer.
Oh yeah.
What is one movie you're confident you've seen at least 10 times?
Troy.
Yeah.
Scarface. I made you watch Scarface at least 10 times.
And I've been scarred ever since.
I don't know. What are you?
Just the old brainless comedies that I've not watched a new movie in like 5 years. It feels like 10.
Yeah.
But I mean, old school Wedding Crashers, Happy Gilmore, Blue Chips, Varsity Blues, Dazed and Confused,
Fight Club.
I never saw Fight Club ever in my life.
I watched Fight Club and Troy. Apparently, I've got a crush on Brad Pitt. I've watched Fight Club and Troy, both of them at least 10 times. Scarface, I know at least 10 times.
Yeah, I've probably seen Scarface 4 or 5 times. I mean, low end. Somebody hit me up the other day. I've never watched Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Didn't we talk about that once before, though?
It must have been.
Yeah.
Recently, because I was talking to somebody recently. All the brainless comedies. Name something that a lot of people like, but you can't stand.
80s music.
Yeah. LeBron James for me.
And that's enough. Stop right there.
All right. Now let's get back to the fun game of Ask OLR.
What about you got one more on there? Down at the bottom.
Yeah, it's a whole sheet. Brandon Cooper brought the fire. Brought the heat, as the kids say.
Well, do you want to jump on it?
It's a whole thing. We're gonna end. We're just gonna end with Brandon Cooper apparently today.
Well, we're an hour 15 in, so we better be thinking about it.
I told you.
Pete Griffin, which I've got to assume is a play on Peter Griffin. Is this a real person?
It's his real life name.
I don't believe that.
He gets it a lot, I think, every day on Twitter.
Is Dick to Go the greatest wrestling name of all time? And I'm assuming he calls it Togo. Dick Togo.
I'm not familiar with that wrestler, but
is he wrestling? Is this the guy that comes into your room and wrestles with you, Peter?
Is this? Have you got any fun? Friends? What's your favorite Dick to Go match, Pete? Tell me that. What's your favorite?
Where do you keep your Dick to Go videos?
Curtis Hatcher says F. Mary Kill, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, and Tony Romo. That's easy for me.
Is Tony Romo like really good looking?
Yeah, no homo, but yeah, Tony Romo's a good looking
Okay,
guy.
I'll F Tony Romo just because if anybody does find out, I want him to at least be attractive. Because there's no way Peyton Manning or Tom Brady's anywhere like really attractive. So if I'm effing a dude, he's gonna be at least be pretty. Peyton Manning, you got to marry Peyton Manning.
Stand up guy.
Yeah, and it's gonna be fun, at least. And then I don't have anything against Tom Brady. I just don't think he fits in those other two categories.
Yeah, I'm marrying Peyton Manning because long term he's got financial stability.
Oh yeah,
he's done well with his money. He's got a sense of humor, which when his looks go, when his hairline keeps receding even more with that huge forehead of his, he's still going to be funny. Yeah. His dad is legendary. You can talk to his dad. You can go home to talk to his parents and have great football stories. His brother, you're going to have a great brother-in-law.
And I feel like when he introduces you, like he's going to mean it. What he says about you. I don't think it's going to be like an empty compliment that he proves to you.
I'm going to do Tom Brady just because he's had such a glow up. He come in the league as a tall, skinny, lanky guy that looked like a Jim Carrey, a great value brand.
He still kind of does, though.
He does, but his jawline's more chiseled. Yeah. He's on that TB12 diet and nutrition plan. Tony Romo, the problem I got Tony Romo, the reason I'm killing Tony Romo is because if you listen to his broadcast, he calls the plays out before they happen. He thinks he's so smart on there. If you're so smart, why didn't you win a Super Bowl, Tony? If you can see all this stuff happening before, why weren't you hitting your receivers in the perfect spots for touchdowns, Tony? What I don't need you to do is tell me my business 24/7. That's what he's doing. If he's a big enough mark for himself, he's calling the plays in the broadcast booth before they happen on the field, then you're a damn know-it-all, Tony Romo.
I'm going to change my vote. Because Tony Romo's not who I thought he was.
He's not ugly.
He's not ugly. He's
been
also
with several beautiful women.
He's also not the person I thought he was, and he's not as attractive as the person I was thinking.
So you're doing Tom now?
Yeah, I'll take Tom.
I'm killing him because for one, he played with the most overrated franchise in the history of pro sports, the Dallas Cowboys. So there's that.
Here's how much I know about it. I said who. I was sitting here looking at him wearing a Cowboys jersey.
Yeah. Justin Stewart. So I tried a YouTube channel a few times and never could really get it to take off and never really got any support, whether it be hometown or afar. So what has been y'all's biggest struggles or advantages in getting a following and what keeps you motivated to make the shows each week?
Well, Justin, as you know, we have millions of followers on our YouTube channel.
We get 3 views a week, 3 to 17, anywhere in there.
So. We put the YouTube channel out because there's a couple of people that don't have iPhones that want to listen to it, and they'll put it on there and listen to it. What's been the best thing for us is Dustin Kennedy because I don't know anybody and he knows everybody. So there you go. If you didn't get any support from your hometown, you ain't getting out there and beating the streets. Because DK beats them streets, he'll beat them cheeks in them streets. So you got to get out there.
Streets, cheeks, and meat.
Yeah, although I mean the meat,
like they all three owe me money.
Yeah, everyone.
Well, Justin, the thing is, and this is a more serious question. I appreciate the question. You can't. We've been doing this for over 5 years. Off and on, and you can't. You think it's really cool that we put out an episode. Things are good. You look on YouTube, and it's got 5 views, 8 views. I mean, of course, we get hundreds of listens, and I'm not saying it's. Sometimes it hovers probably more over the lesser of 1,000 than the closer to 1,000. But listen, when you get older and you realize, hey, not everybody knows what a podcast is. That's what Blake Johnson said. He's like, I just didn't know what a podcast was, as we've talked about several times. That's people's mindset.
I've recently showed 2 different people how to download a podcast on an iPhone.
Yeah,
how to find it.
It's just, it's a thing that now everybody's got a podcast. But when we started, not everybody did. Plenty of people still did. I'm not saying we were. What's the word I'm looking for? Grounded. I
don't know.
Like
humble.
I don't know. Hey, we're humble. Yeah. If nothing else, we're humble. But anyway, hey man, look, for us every week it's a break. It's an hour and a half, 2 hours, a break from reality. It's whether it's away from your work life, your family life, just seeing your buddies, spend time with your friends.
And that makes the biggest difference about staying motivated because, somebody else hearing it wasn't my motivation. My motivation is I was in a particularly bad spot and I needed to spend some regular time with somebody else that wasn't just in my head, you know. So, getting to spend time with Dustin was a big positive. And so me getting to hang out with Dustin once a week is a big positive for me.
Yeah, same here. Lifelong friend. You get to hang out, you get to bullshit. And again.
I didn't mean to tug your balls right then either, but, that was the truth.
Somebody's got to tug them. Yep. But no, the thing is, and honestly, the best thing for me, from a listener standpoint, is, I don't think anybody realizes that when they send a text like, hey, man, that really hit, that episode hit or whatever. People that listen, whether it's 5 people or 250 people, the people that text you on Monday morning or Thursday morning said, man, you got me with that Marlin story. You got me with Lucas making fun of the diesel trucks. Man, it's all interaction. We do it for y'all too, because everybody says, hey, man, I got an hour drive to work, or I'll sit at a cubicle all day. Y'all just crack me up. It means the world when somebody says we're,
when somebody tells me that they've had to step out of a room because they were laughing so hard. Oh, there's nothing better. That makes any time that you ever thought, we probably shouldn't do that. As soon as somebody tells me, I'm like, I'm never quitting. I'm never.
That's the problem. We should probably be a little more censored on what we do. But when people says, man, they thought I was crazy at work, because I was laughing in the office, or I was going down the street and I had my AirPods in, or
laughing in the car, doing whatever.
Man,
there's not a better feeling.
It's a good feeling. You done stroking me, I'm done stroking you, right? Yep. Okay, let's go. Anthony Buck, fantasy football inside.
Well, I'll just, that's obviously for me, I'm going to say take the Titans defense. You got to get somebody to take Titans defense. Go ahead and get Peyton Manning as your quarterback. Antonio Brown's probably your good receiver.
Oh, yeah. WR1 for sure.
Yeah.
I told Anthony I could enter that because you would want to off yourself on air. So, Doug Martin, you're given 4 years to prepare for the Summer Olympic event of your choice. $5 million if you medal. What event do you choose? You can't be a bench sub in basketball, which sucks because I made a pretty good career of being a bench sub.
Yeah. You're given 4 years to prepare for the Summer Olympic event of your choice. $5 million if you medal. Man.
What do you say?
What event do you choose? Boy, you got to choose.
I don't follow the Olympics. I don't know.
You got to choose something that you'd be close to good at, right? Man, they had like speed walking as a sport at one point in time. I think I could be closer to that. Get a medal in it.
What's that one they call? What's that one?
Olympic weightlifting would be like the obvious choice that I would want to say, but there's no way in 4 years that I'm going to be able to medal in that sport.
Yeah, I don't keep up with a lot. I don't even watch the Summer or Winter Olympics. They had that one thing. It was like pipe laying, I think it was called. It was something like that.
Yeah,
you might be pretty good at it. You could probably place in that, Lucas.
Yeah.
So that's one we could strive for. You just try to lay all you can, and a couple years in between the events, and maybe by the time 4 years rolls around,
I get in that top 12 anyway. You feel me?
I don't know what that means. I do know. I know what you mean.
Yeah,
I do. I got you. James Hatcher, out of this year's NFL Hall of Fame class, who deserves that? Who
at least deserves a spot?
It's not like basketball where it's like international, NBA, college, high school. Like the Basketball Hall of Fame, everybody gets in. Hall of Fame for NFL is a little more elite. So I think everybody. Peyton Manning, obviously. And I said,
going in?
He went. He was the headliner. And I said, I'm not going to ask this question because Lucas is about like me. I didn't know a lot of them. Mm. And he said, well, he'll know Peyton Manning. I said, then the extent of that. I said, then then there's Charles Woodson, who don't know between Charles Woodson and Connie Woodson.
Yeah. Okay.
He's like, no, he'll know Connie.
Yeah.
So, okay, Chris.
Either one of those could have been an NFL player.
Connie down here. Okay, Chris asked question. There you go.
DK, you got to give one up. Well, that's a stupid question, Kristen. You got to give one up. Old wrestling clips or old Shaq clips. Everybody knows the answer to that.
It's not as easy. It's not a layup like you think. Because I love watching old wrestling
Shaq
clips.
Because Shaq will miss layups too.
No, he'll dunk it. Kyle, tough guy. I love it. I do. I mean, I do both. I still watch old clips. I would love to find wrestling has got the WWE Network, which is now on Peacock, and it sucks.
Kristen, you and I both know it's Shaq.
It is.
He's never getting up. He's never getting them up.
I just wish that they could make old basketball games and put it more into HD quality because you can find old basketball games.
Boy, you forget how bad quality on television used to be until you see an old sports clip.
Yeah, you can find a game from 03 and 04.
This were still bad.
Yeah, it's still bad. I wish I would love to watch.
NBC or CBS, whoever had it, they had just had that monopoly on it for so long that they could do whatever the hell they wanted to and not have to get up with the times.
I just missed the NBA on NBC with that John Tesh. NBA that was Sports Center, but
best vacation you've ever had.
Yeah. Is this sad that none of them stand out? I saw a quote the other day. It says, vacation with kids is not vacation. It's parenting on a location.
Uh-huh.
Well,
yeah, can be.
You enjoy your time with your kids, but obviously it's not a vacation. It's not.
My favorite one was my wife and I either going to St. Lucia, which was fantastic, or my wife and I driving the coast of California.
And your Texas trip.
Texas trip was fantastic, but my top two favorite ones was St. Lucia and California. Texas was fantastic. It was fantastic. We got to spend a lot more time just together going down the coast of California. It was just fun.
No, just as before you had kids.
Yeah, before I had kids. Yeah, in our Texas trip, Kara was pregnant with Camden, and she was so like big and pregnant. And and it was that was on our mind. But in California, it was just us. There was nothing. Nobody's pregnant. It was just.
Man, we never really vacationed before kids because we had Waylon so soon and all that. But we did on our honeymoon when Waylon was a little older. We went took a cruise at the Bahamas, which was cool. But other than that, I mean, we went to Disney when she was pregnant with Jack, and I enjoyed Disney. I didn't find
everybody says it's fantastic.
It's fine. I think we're going to go later this year. Yeah. Biggest parenting WTF moment.
Well, I'll tell you, and mine just happened the other night. Camden was sitting there in my lap, and he patted me on the back. He said, and he wasn't looking at me, and we hadn't been talking or anything. This was just something that was on his mind. He said, "Daddy, I love you." So I love you too, buddy. He said, even though you're not nice to me. I said, I'm not nice to you. He said, not all the time. And I said, He said, but I still love you. I said, well, shit.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
That's a WTF moment. Yeah. She also asked, you got a week to go back in time and spend it at any age. What age are you picking and why?
To go back in time for just a week?
Yep. Any age for a week.
18.
Yeah.
Any week?
You get to be a certain age for a week. You're going to be 18 again?
Yes. Do the decisions that I make at that point in time affect the rest of my life?
Well, now, I doubt it. But, I mean, maybe. Why not? This is all hypothetical. Hell yeah.
Well, then if it's hypothetical, I'm saying that the choices that I make at 18 are going to, that I go back and make, are going to change the outcome of what's happened here.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go back to 18.
Yeah, I mean, 18's a good number. I mean, that's
at college, the start of college.
18 is a good one.
I'm going to go back to 18-year-old the week before college.
Yes, I think so too. I made a lot of. I would like to live 18 again for a week. Also, Do you know I dated a girl off and on in college, that I found out not too long ago, that she's like a pharmacist in Miami. And I kept like I would come home from college and like just you go back and forth with old girlfriends and stuff. And I'm like, oh, just a pharmacist in Miami. That's I just wanted to really drive into traffic when I found that out.
So you didn't do well for yourself at all.
Remember when I said I'd live somewhere earlier?
Yeah,
it'd probably be Miami. Maybe Miami comes to But I think another answer to be interesting is like 7. Because think about life, dude. Like right now, it's constant 7 to 4, 8 to 5, 9 to 5 life. You're driving. There's so much pressure on you every day to be a good employee, a good husband, a good father. At 7, only choices I had in life was distinguishing whether I was going to play with my Hulk Hogan action figure, my Ninja Turtle, or my Batman, or my Ghostbusters. I didn't have a bill. I didn't pay any bills when I was 7.
Mm-hmm.
No responsibility in the world. I was watching.
18, you really don't have any either.
You don't. I agree. But 7 would be a sweet.
That would be pretty good. But Sega Genesis, as 7-year-old.
Yeah, it was still Nintendo.
Super Nintendo. Oh, yeah. Go back and play F-Zero.
You can't get any when you're 7. That's kind of a thing.
You're also not thinking about it when you're 7, so it's not something.
Well, maybe you didn't.
All right.
Matt Taylor says, "What's your boys' opinion on the mask mandate at the Ryman?"
I don't care.
Lucas hadn't left the house in 16 years, so he doesn't care about that. He's referencing where I went off yesterday. Long story short, because we're getting a little long here, that I got an email. I was supposed to go to the Theo Vaughn show with some friends this weekend, and if you're not vaccinated and you haven't had a negative COVID test within 48 hours of the show. You can't come. It's not a ramen thing, but it's a Netflix thing because Theo was airing a Netflix special. He was filming for Netflix for this show. And I called the ramen. It said that's all on Netflix. And I think it sucks. So I called my wife, who I said, hey, honey, here's the deal. I know you're not vaccinated, but you care to go let's just go get a test. And she goes, no, I'm not taking a test. I said, well, I know you hadn't been vaccinated, but I have, but why don't you just go get a test, on Wednesday or Thursday after work? That way we can go to the show. Nah, I'm sorry. I guess you better take somebody else. Then it only got worse because my friends were all going and said, nah, we're not doing that either. And she goes, see? And I said, honey, I was going to book us a room. I've already spent this much on tickets for the ramen. Can you not just go get tested? No, I can't. I'm not sick. I feel well. I don't feel bad. I'm not sick. I don't have any symptoms. So therefore, I'm not going to get tested. I'm like, oh, well, you take the girl out of the slime. You can't take the slime out of the girl, apparently.
Well, that's not fair, though. It's not fair, though. Because I can see why some people wouldn't want to. I'm not saying that your wife or they have a reason, but I'm saying that. So all of a sudden you're asymptomatic. It'd be nice to know. But if you're going and you've got something to do, and you get tested, and all of a sudden that it shows up that you do have it, or if say you don't have it, but you're supposed to quarantine in between.
I get it.
What happens if they lose your test and now, or your test is waiting, and all of a sudden you're quarantined for no reason?
Well, I think the logical thing here is to find a bunch of.
Now, what would I do? I'd go get a test.
Yeah, I think we should find some a way to make fake. You just make fake.
Oh, I'm sure it's out there already.
If McLovin can get in a club with his fake ID, I can get my wife a fake vaccination card somewhere, surely. The coolest thing to come out of this, I hit Ticketmaster up for a refund because it's like jumping through hoops to get your refund, which Theo Vaughn tweeted me and says, hey, Slick, I'm going to check with them right now. This is all a surprise to me and not my requirement. Thank you for putting up with it. Hope to see you at a future show. I told him I thought it sucked because we were all looking forward to it. Then he followed me on Twitter and then sent out another message saying he hoped it would all get cleared up and let.
Well, I hope the only thing that I say from this, I don't care who goes to the show with you. I don't care if you lose all of the money for all the tickets. I hope that you get Theo Vaughn on the show because of this. Yeah,
maybe we can. Maybe we can. So I don't know. Just don't mess my damn football season up. It's all I'm asking. It's all,
Derek Woolbright asked me in particular, you have to wear one every day for the rest of your life. Chubby shorts or polo shirts. Now, I looked up chubby shorts here. Those are awful.
Yeah, but we know your feelings about polo shirts.
I know. That's my problem right now. Can I put something on over the top of these, or does this have to be like out where everybody can see them?
What I think you could do,
because I used to wear multiple pairs of pants because I was gangsta as it comes.
Oh yeah, G'd up from the feet up usually. What I feel like you can do, how you can go around this, Lucas, because I know your disdain for polo shirts.
Yeah.
You could be like a sorority girl in college, and you can wear like a long T-shirt that comes past the chubbies. It looks like you're only wearing a T-shirt. You can wear a Phi Gamma Butt Slamma T-shirt.
Here's the thing about those though. Those girls will wear a large so that it comes down real far. Well, I have to hit that 5X to get it to come down.
Okay, and
it looks. I would rather. I would have, if I had my drathers, I would rather just wear the shorts at that point. Just show off my legs a little bit.
You'd have to shave your legs. Look at that guy.
I'd have to, because I won't look like this in them.
No, you're not. It's not your legs.
Yeah, those are definitely not mine. Any of these guys. Pick any of these guys. I'll look like a grizzly bear as compared to anybody that's in any of these pictures.
Go back up. Who's the guy that modeled that photo? Been over just waiting to take it.
In those shorts, he is.
He's the one that taps his feet under the stall at Cane Creek Park.
Yeah, he said, "Come over here." Oof, I don't know. I would go with the chubbies.
You couldn't. Your package would be so unhideable in a pair of chubbies, though. I mean, your light,
but I'm gonna wear some. I'm gonna put my ninja pants on over the top of these things.
Your light pole will be playing peekaboo with the bottom leg of that thing. So hard.
I'm gonna wear these chubbies as opposed to wearing a polo shirt, because a polo don't go with anything. It is just the dumbest piece of equipment. But here's the problem: the only thing that goes with a chubby shorts is a polo shirt. So you're getting stuck with them both.
No, I mean, these guys don't have polo. That guy has a polo, but he looks like a guy. I mean, come on now.
But all these guys look like dorks.
Well, you misspelled. Beep that one.
134.
Okay. And okay, the next question would be, and this is like a do you want $7 million or $6.8 million? Topanga Lawrence or Kelly Kapowski? I mean, do you want 6.8 million or 7 million?
I gotta go with Kelly Kapowski.
Yeah.
That's
my vote.
But
for anybody.
But if something happens and Kelly Kapowski's taken, okay, I'll take Topanga.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about Kelly. I'm going to go with Kelly over every other pop culture.
Yeah.
Over any of the girls on Beverly Hills 90210. Over Daisy Duke.
Trash.
And Kelly Kapowski to this day. Kelly's probably mid 40s. I follow her on Instagram. She's still attractive on every aspect of everything. She's beautiful. Her body is still. Am I too old to say banging? I don't know if I am or not. I don't know what the rules are.
I don't think you're too old because we're talking about somebody
Kelly.
from the 90s.
Yeah. I didn't say banging when it was popular, but I think that's what, if you were describing a 90s sex symbol, I tell you when she was hottest. On these days right here, I think it was Melrose Place she was on. I think she was on Melrose Place or she was on another one of those. No, she was on Beverly Hills 90210. She left Saved by the Bell and went on the later editions.
She won.
And she was a bad girl on Beverly Hills 90210. That's it right there.
Yep.
She's one of the most beautiful women
of all time.
And
bar none.
I'm going to be honest with you. Topanga Lawrence, it's not even up for debate for me. I know I said 6.8 to 7 million. It's more like 7 million compared to 2.5 million. Right. Topanga was cute and all in 1995.
But she's not Kelly Kapowski,
Kelly Kapowski is one of the hottest women, and to me, she just ages. It's unbelievable.
This is not Kelly Kapowski.
No, it's her.
This is not Tiffany Amber Thiessen, surely. It's like her evil twin or something.
There's so many other pictures we can concentrate on. I love her. That's the biggest crush in my life. I love her with all my heart, really.
Beautiful.
Love her.
DK, would you rather endure a 12-hour Sam Hunt and Florida Georgia Line concert or have to read "She Thought She Could, So She Did" post on Facebook for 12 hours?
Yeah. I hate them. I hate those people. I hate you stupid girls that, here's the deal. I get it. We've all taken selfies where we're feeling ourselves a little bit. I'm like, oh, I think I'm looking good here. So therefore, instead of just posting a selfie and be like, hope you guys are having a good day, or hell, just be completely honest with yourself and say, I'm feeling myself today. Here's a selfie for you guys to enjoy. Hit me with all the likes. Nah, you girls got to hit me with the Marilyn Monroe quotes. She thought she could, so she did. She believed she could, so she did.
Oof.
Nah, ain't nobody trying to read your one paragraph just because you think you look good for your selfie. She remembered who she was and the game changed. Okay. I hate it.
I know the answer. The answer is Florida Georgia Line and Sam Hunt concert for 12 hours because it can go on in the background and I can eventually tune it out.
I don't want to be anywhere for 12 hours though, so I'm going to read through "She Thought She Did, So She Could."
No, because here's the thing.
For 12. It's 12. I missed the 12 hours part on the Facebook post.
Yeah. If you're doing that for 12 hours, you're paying attention to that shit for 12 hours. You can go to a concert and not pay attention for 12 hours. I've seen you be at a concert for 2 hours and not have any clue what's going on.
That's true. That's true. Damn, Jim Beam will get you every time.
Yeah.
The problem, and one might argue, well, you're going to be seeing some really nice scenery at Florida Georgia Line and Sam Hunt for 12 hours. Here's the deal. You know what kind of girls those are?
The ones that like Florida Georgia Line and Sam Hunt.
Girls that post "she could, so she did." She thought she could, so she did. Those are the kind of girls that are at that damn concert. But yeah, I'll go to a concert for 12 hours, I guess.
Nick Gray says, what would you like to see the Titans add or remove from the fan experience for an average game? And also, what's your least favorite thing about going?
Just real quick, I think some of their video packages I think are dated. They've had some of like the Pain Train and the Johnny Cash song. I feel like it should be a Hank Williams Jr. song if anything. No, I'm just kidding. But I just think some of the things are dated, but I think they're getting better each year. My least favorite thing about going now is I'm getting old, and to be at a game at 12, you have to leave home realistically at 7:30 or 8 to allow yourself enough time for traffic and parking. Then the game's not over till 3:30. You stop somewhere and eat. You're not getting home till 7, 8. You got a work day. It just takes your whole Sunday, and that's the advantages of living in good old North Springs.
Yeah. That's your least favorite thing about going? So, what's one ball game that you wish you could have been in attendance for live? Shaq's last game, I'd have to imagine.
No, and I did see this question. I don't remember who.
It's probably Nick.
Oh yeah. It wouldn't have been Shaq's last game because he went out so lackluster because he was old and injured, and it's not even the Lakers, even their 3 championships in a row. The Western Conference was always so stacked that by the time they got to the finals, it wasn't even a competition. I mean, they beat everybody so handily in the finals that the Western Conference finals were always kind of the it was anticlimactic in the finals because knew they were going to win. But if I had to pick one, maybe it's a Shaq game for sure.
Right.
The only other contention,
maybe the first game that he just ripped the backboard.
That would have been a cool one, right?
Yeah.
And either one, the one in Phoenix where he offensive rebounded just slowly, or the one in New Jersey where he just ripped the whole damn thing and the fucking structure fell down on top of him, Yeah. But if you're talking about games, the only other non-Shaq event would be the Music City Miracle.
Oh, yeah.
With the Titans, of course. But I think if I had to pick one Shaq, like Lakers game, would probably be the Western Conference Finals 2000. Game 7, winner goes to the finals. They were down 15 starting the fourth quarter. They make the rally. They come back. They take the lead. Kobe throws the alley-oop to Shaq, the one-handed slam. It's the most famous image of his career where he's going off pointing. Probably that one, or the other. I mean, that's the one that stands out. Maybe the Game 7 in Sacramento. That was their greatest test. Was the Kings, Sacramento Queens. Game 7, and again, winner goes to the finals, and they go to Sacramento and win in overtime. So probably the Portland game, alley-oop Shaq from Kobe.
Thad Johnson says your top 5 up-and-coming musicians that you don't think people know about and should check out.
You got any that you've been listening to?
I literally only listened to like 2 or 3 bands: Sturgill, Tyler Childers, and Jocko Willink, and he's not a musician.
Only ones that I would say,
and a lot of people don't know about. All of our listeners do, but I think more people should know about them.
Yeah, I mean, really,
yeah.
Yeah,
both of those guys.
But I think Childers is out of the bubble now. Childers maybe not. Sturgill, probably. Who do you think more well known, Sturgill or Tyler?
I think Sturgill's probably more well known than Tyler Childers.
I think so too. I agree.
But I still think more people should know about both of them.
Some names that I throw out, and it's just, to me, I still think Alex Williams is being slept on by what I'm finding when I'm promoting the North Springs Music Festival is I'll say, well, I got Alex Williams coming. He's our headliner, full band coming. They're like, I don't really know him. I'm like, well, Cody Jinks. Well, I love Cody Jinks. I said, well, he's on tour with him in August. And they used to be on the same record label. So I think a lot of people are sleeping on Alex. And I think when this second album comes out, hopefully people wake up. But of course, I got Logan Halstead coming, the 17-year-old kid from West Virginia that's got a kind of a similar sound to Childers. I think we're onto something by bringing Logan Halstead. Jason Holcomb, all credit to Jason Holcomb. I was at a barn sale and Jason said, you ever heard of this guy? And I looked him up, and then they started writing articles about him on Whiskey Riff and Saving Country Music. And the last one's really interesting to me. I'm not going to give you 5. I don't have 5. I don't guess I'm thinking about. Cole Chaney is a name out of Kentucky that's coming up. When you got the guys of Kentucky, you got Jason Evanses and James Reeds, Brandon Martins. Then you got the Logan Halsteads and Cole Chaney. He's in his 20s, man, and he's
hitting that Red Barn radio too.
He's all over everything in Kentucky right now. And there's Logan right below him. So Cole Chaney and Logan Halstead. Cole's got an album. Logan's the one down there on the left.
Oh, okay.
He's the one coming to the music festival. I couldn't find any contact information for Cole Chaney. I tried to get him at the festival. He don't have a contact info to reach. He's about to blow up in Kentucky, and I'm just like trying to get him on the show. Don't know how to reach him. He's getting a lot of good reviews.
Okay. What word do you struggle to spell or pronounce? Definitely or defiantly?
Well, that was one I wrote.
I was assuming that you wrote those.
I don't have trouble with definitely. I see a lot of people online, and I'm going to put it on autocorrect because I've seen that a lot. People, I've tried to type definitely, and it changes to defiantly. So I hope that's what, because people is like, oh yeah, girl, I defiantly agree with you. I'm like, well, do you? I think you mean definitely.
I don't. I don't struggle. I struggle to spell every word that I try to type. If you see me typing a word, it looks like I've never seen an English book in my entire life. Pronouncing, I'll screw up some pronouncements.
Like pronouncements?
Yeah.
Pronunciation?
Yeah. I'll just screw them straight up. I'll tell you what I have trouble with a lot. I don't know why I have this mental block about these particular words. But when I'm talking about family members and I start getting around step and half and in-law,
yeah,
I will screw that association up every time. Like I can't get that in my head. Like I'll call like half siblings step or in-laws. I'll call half siblings in-laws all the time.
Huh. That's stupid.
Yeah, it's real stupid. There's no reason that I should get that wrong.
Nah. You should just be cute and call them bonus. Bonus dads, bonus moms, bonus brothers, bonus sisters. That's politically correct way to say it these days.
Absolutely
Well, it's just the thing now.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just I feel like I do pretty good with spelling. I'm kind of a grammar Nazi. And honestly, I'm going to tell you the truth. If you're over the age of 25 years, I mean really if you're over the age of 18, and if you get the your and yours and two and two and what's the other one? Twos and yours and there's another one. Theirs.
Oh yeah.
If you get them wrong and it's not an autocorrect, I don't respect you. I just don't. I don't. It's not that hard. It's not that hard.
Right. Yeah, you should know. If you still don't know how to do who and whom, that's fine. Who knows? Who knows how to do it?
It's up for debate.
Nobody knows how to do that. That's fine. If you don't know which one, if you don't realize that YOU apostrophe RE stands for you are, and YOUR stands for your.
It drives me insane.
What are you doing?
I hate it when somebody says, "Wow, you are welcome."
Yeah,
it drives me insane, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're welcome.
I don't own a welcome.
This is your welcome right here. This welcome is yours. You can have this welcome.
Like it's just not, man.
Yeah.
It's just not that hard.
No, it's not.
I'm going to.
Mm-hmm.
If you say I'm going to, you missed a word.
Well, you're going to what? Yeah. What are you going to? Where are you going?
But if you mean I'm also going, it's TOO.
TOO means also.
Which that would be the correct way. Like I'm also going. That way you don't have to confuse yourself with the twos.
If you say this is theirs, and then you put THERES, I'm gonna slap you in the face.
I don't
slap myself in the face.
I have no lies to tell. Yeah. I don't respect it.
Yeah,
I don't, man. It's not hard.
It's not that hard. But my biggest problem, I'll stumble through a word. I'll pile through it like it's just like it's a mud hole, and I'll just stomp right through the middle of it. But I'll have a mental block around step and in-law.
Yeah.
And half that I can't get around.
I wish I could think of an answer for that because I know there's words that I do. There's words.
Oh, I'll tromp through them like I'm stomping the weeds down.
Man, there is one. Damn it, and I just can't. I can't remember. If I think of it, I'll bring them next week.
Yeah, I like how you say pervert too.
Yeah, that's on purpose though.
Yeah, I still like it. Don Asbury said, if someone is not familiar with Chris Knight's discography, but wants to see him in concert, what top 5 songs would you tell them to listen to?
Well, I would assume if you don't know who Chris Knight is and you're wanting to see him at Clay County Fairgrounds on September 4th, brought to you by Lee Jam, Annette, and Dustin Kennedy at the Clay County Women's Pavilion at 215 Arcot Road, which is still up for debate apparently. I think the easy answers, Lucas, are the obvious answers are It Ain't Easy Being Me, Framed, Down the River,
11 to 45.
11 to 45, Oil Patch Town. But if you want to go a little
Devil Behind the Wheel. Jealous Kind.
So his first album out in 97. Not a bad song on it. From 1 to 12.
Pretty good guy.
That's good stuff. I really like House of 90 Acres, Summer of 75. I can't do this. The second album is a pretty good guy. Becky's Bible's a damn good one. Highway Junkie's a good one. But the most famous one on that one, Oil Patch Town and Down the River about his brother. Jealous Kind, damn, how many times have we listened to the Jealous Kind in Department 6 and 11? You got the Jealous Kind, Banging Away. Carla Came Home, Devil
Carla
Behind the
Came
Wheel.
Home is such a good song.
He said that he tried to use that as his Christmas. Remember, he told us on the podcast,
Yeah.
tried to use his Christmas song, and the label wouldn't let it. But then he went on. His next album was in The Jealous Kind was in 03. And he had Enough Rope. These years are all messed up. But Enough Rope in 06. Cry Lonely. Cody Canada said he heard that and he had to pull over on the side of the road. And he said they covered it right after that. Ragweed did. River Road, Saved by Love, Rural Route, Dirt. I mean, man, To Get Back Home, Too Close to Home.
There's not many.
It hurts. There's not.
You can't go wrong with any album. Start at any album. To me, I would say that if you want to, I was gonna say start with the '97 Chris Knight album.
That's it. Start there.
That's what I want to say. Because it ain't easy being me and Framed.
I mean, it's your first two out.
Love in a 45.
Oh, it's so damn good.
Oof.
He's the best story. I mean, it's up for debate when you talk about country music, Americana scene, real country music, just songwriting. In the last 2 decades, a lot of people say Jason Isbell is the best writer. I don't personally love Jason Isbell as a performer or as a person.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure he's a fine person. I don't necessarily like anything about his writing. That type of writing where he's just writing about, wants to make love to something all the time.
Isbell, though? I don't know.
I
don't know if that's. I don't know. I think I'll take Chris Knight's writing over Isbell's writing.
Love in a 45 about a hooker and a police officer that get together.
Yeah. Heart of Stone was a tremendous record. Then he had Little Victories in 2012 that had, Little Victories itself. Then he didn't do a record for 7 or 8 years. Then he brought out Almost Daylight. Had Leanne Womack on it. He did a Mexican Home with John Prine. John Prine just had nothing left in the tank hardly, but it's cool to hear a Chris Knight, John Prine song.
He's fantastic, guys. I mean, there's no way around it. And anybody that's our age that hung out with us in the early 2000s, you've heard his music, whether you remember it or not. There
was a guy down at the bar in Gainesboro the night when I went out and watched Mike play that was trying to put me on Cole Chaney. And I said, I've had that record for 3 months on my phone, you know. And I said, what about you some Chris Knight? You coming to the show? And he goes, I don't know who Chris Knight is. And I
said, you slap him in the mouth?
I said, how old are you? And he's like 25, 26.
Oh, well, there you go.
And I said, you don't have a clue. Yeah. And it hurt my heart, man. Davo, who I really respect, my friend David Paul Scanlon, he's like, I get it. He's a big name. He's a big get. I don't love him. I'm like,
really?
Davo. I said, how many songs?
I would have thought that would right up his alley.
He said, I've listened to Boom, Boom, Boom. And I said, you've not listened to enough.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just can't believe that Davo would not love Chris Knight. But I guess I don't want to give the obvious answers, but yes, if you've never heard a Chris Knight song, Framed, It Needs to Be Me, Loving a 45, Down the River,
Jealous Kind, Pretty Good Guy.
Goddamn.
Yeah,
I mean, there's so many.
Oh, he's fantastic. Well, that's the end of our list here. The only thing we have left is to read Brandon Cooper's sheet.
So where are we at on this?
We're at 2 hours. We're like,
here's what we do.
Let's do it.
Let's stop this episode here.
Yeah.
We'll do a completely separate bonus episode, call it the Brandon Cooper episode, and knock these out.
Folks, we appreciate you listening. The Brandon Cooper episode may or may not be out at the same time that this one does. We may hold it in reserve for our next one.
We can put them out. You want to put them out together? I mean,
I don't know. We'll see because it's getting late too.
Okay.
Anyway, all right, guys. We appreciate you listening. This is a long one. We appreciate all the input.
Yeah.
It's so much fun. I always look forward to Ask OLRs.
Yeah. Thank you guys for all the. That answers the question. That's Justin Stewart. We do it for y'all. We do it for the people. If nothing else, we do it for the people. We do it for you, the fans, the listeners.
Not about our big inflated egos, if that's what you're thinking.
Nobody loves to talk about ourselves as much as us.
We do.
So we appreciate you little peons sending questions. No, you're not really peons. I'm just kidding.
See you later.
Love you.